What up, guys? It's your boy Minix here, and I'm doing a little bit of analytics of a game that I have won. Originally, I had gone in as a duo, but unfortunately, my partner disconnected. So I'm going to go as layman as possible because I would like to cater to newer players or people just not as skilled and seeking to improve their gameplay. This is not for professionals or competitive players, people with a lot of experience, but if you guys want to watch it and can learn something from it, then great. If you have something constructive you would like to give me or think that there's any way I myself can improve my gameplay, I'd love to hear it. However, this is just for my friends who are just looking to get better. I've had been requested if I could, take some time out to do some coaching here and there, and I just don't have the time to do that. I wish I did. Unfortunately, I just don't have that. So instead, I think what I'm going to try to do is just commit a little bit of time, not nearly the amount it would take to coach, but a little bit of time just to look over a gameplay, break it down play by play. So how this is mapped out is where there is matting or dead time or rotational time, it's going to be sped up and the volume is going to be reduced so that we don't hear super squeaky sounds from me or just really annoying audio. And when there's actual engagement, we're going to go ahead and play it in real time. And I'll try my best to do some breakdown, try my best to talk over myself. I don't know how long this is going to go for. If there is some traction in it and you guys find it to be beneficial, if my friends find it to be beneficial, then I'll keep doing it. This is a pub game. Like I said originally, I came in as a duo, but unfortunately, my duo partner, Jay, ended up disconnecting. You can see him top left over in the hotel, and he ends up coming in my chat and just telling me, hey, I disconnected. So super unfortunate, and once he disconnected, I was just kind of like, whatever. I'm just going to go push everybody. I'm just going to go get myself killed so that we can play, or so that he doesn't have to wait. But it ended out turning to be a lot better than I expected. So now by no means is this super clean gameplay, and you'll see that. So at this very instant, I saw somebody coming in a boat with the visual audio. I popped out just to aggress it. It looks like he was either trying to kill himself, or I'm not sure, maybe he was trying to run, maybe something was going on, or maybe his friend died since he was a solo. But I saw the boat on the visual audio, intercepted it, hopped out. He didn't really give a fight, so easy clap there. All right, we got a duo here. I tried to get high ground, but I end up scuffing myself a couple times, but some shots from behind. I try to cover that as quick as possible. Try to line up a shot. Boom. Drop down. I didn't mean to drop down so far, so you end up seeing me go back up. I try to drop a floor, but it didn't work. But I do jump up because of the cone. Drop a floor anyway. Drop into it, and that ended up throwing him off, which is why he tried ramping up. So you're more than welcome to look back at that at any time. Obviously, you can pause and play this back, but really just a little sloppy, but it ended up working out very well. So two players from two different directions, it's very easy to get a little bit flustered or think that, it's over. But if you just keep your composure and just get off whatever shots you can and use your guns to cater towards their strengths. For example, the charged shotgun has some pretty decent range. At the moment when I had used the bounce pad, again, I didn't mean to drop down that far, but it happens, whatever. I ended up using the jump pad, ended up coming up. I intended to actually drop a floor above them, but instead I accidentally dropped on him in the same box as him, but using the pyramid. I ran up on the pyramid, jumped up, which is going to put me in the next floor, dropped the floor, ended open the floor, dropped back into the box, so he probably still thought I was above. Maybe he thought I opened up a window and shot down, but it just discombobulated him, forced him to put a ramp on the outside. Ended up just panicking himself. Whereas the other person, when he approached me, I ended up opening up the pyramid on him, and he jumped in and probably wasn't expecting that. So now running up to Wailing Woods over here, pushing a duo Sometimes if I'm really being aggressive and if I'm using a vehicle, I like to drive by buildings close enough so that I can get the visual audio or see if anybody's in there. So in this particular situation, I end up just scuffing my build so many times. So I just bail, I edit down, and I try to go for a rotate because they clearly have an upper edge on me. I ended up throwing those nades at the base because I thought they might have also tried editing down to go after me. So I ended up prematurely throwing grenades, but that wasn't the case. They did not edit down. They probably went above, went back in the building, whatever they ended up doing. So I try to rotate here, crouch walking so that I don't set off any visual audio, and just trying to lose them. I managed to catch one, not paying attention. The other one behind me. Quickly turn around, build some walls just to protect myself. We're just going to keep the high ground for as much as we can, try to land as many shots as possible. You don't have to jump down so quick if it's not necessary, especially when you don't know what's going on. Just get off some shots where you're able to. Get them as weak as you're able to until you're confident that it's no longer a 50-50 if you drop down. A 50-50 just being where you guys are just going body for body and it's anybody's game at that point. So I end up dropping down because I know he's super weak. I got him whited. I broke his shields, even though I have no shields as well. I believe that he's panicking. He's probably flustered. His ally died. Probably trying to get the card. I end up taking the wall, thinking that was the wall that he was actually hitting. He ends up dropping down stairs in front of him after I take the debris down, or that drawer. Using the sub just to spray through that. I didn't know if he was going to just be able to turbo build. I was hoping that some shots would just be able to get through his staircase. There's no way to know that if it will all the time. Sometimes you just get lucky. Just spray a person's build and a couple shots get through. And sometimes that's all you need. So in that case, that was all I needed. So I end up pushing up to the next guy. Got some minis, so I was able to use that. That was my phone. And we're just pushing. We're pushing in towards the storm. I see some shots coming off here, so I know somebody's close. Trying to find them. I see some visual audio. I hop out immediately, and I go to push this person, trying to take a side staircase above him so that he wouldn't be able to ramp up. Take a couple shots. He's too committed to building. He's not paying attention to actually being seeing the opportunities he has to shoot back. Instead, he ends up taking 3 shots there just because he was committed to taking height. So I ended up killing him, take what I can, obviously. And I end up boxing up because I'm a little high up. So it's super important that you just box up and make sure that you protect yourself if you're going to take minis or anything like that. Just always try to box up if you can. A lot of people could improve their gameplay so much if they just protected themselves a little bit more and weren't as comfortable in situations like that, like taking minis. Alright, so I see a guy at the bottom here. I just spray the Scar. Scar's got good bloom. Just rely on the bloom gods when it comes to the Scar. It really is like that. Strong gun. I managed to hit the tree for a lot. He ends up putting walls in front of him, and he no longer commits to the bloom battle. In this case, I'm in storm. I realize that I drop a bounce pad just so I can get in storm. Just reassess myself because I feel like it's a bad situation. I don't know how many people are there. I know that there's at least 2. And because they weren't paying attention to their health and or just playing defensively, worried about me, one ended up dying by storm up there. I tried to heal, but I stopped because I saw that he saw me and I thought he was going to push me just like he did. I wasn't aware that he had such low health, so that actually really worked out in my favor. So I go ahead and edit down here. Catching somebody, ramping up, trying to get up. It's a Scar. That's a Scar. Use it. Just hold that down and spray. Let me put that on vibrate. Another guy again trying to get up. Trying to get up from the storm. 2 of them. And really, the Scar is so valuable. Even though it's the purple Scar, I have so much ammo. Or enough, to say the least, to be able to take some shots here. Keeping the high ground. I'm not pushing them. I don't want to give it up because they're trying to get up to me. So, with that said, they're going to make themselves vulnerable in one way, shape, or form. Trying to move up. Trying to ramp up. Use their mats. Whatever it is. Exhaust their resources and just use bloom. Just use bloom, take shots, and make it difficult for them to get up there. Now, since I had weakened both of them, I felt a little bit confident. Ended up coming down, and because they started moving forward, it meant that their eyes were no longer on me. So I used the bounce pad to give me a little bit of a push to get up there aggressively. I did not know that this guy had a P90, and P90s can really change the name of the game. Try to take high ground, ended up scuffing my high ground retake, but whatever it is, what it is, I still managed to get high ground. Take his pyramid, open that up, but here he opens up the floor on me, hits me with that P90, and let me tell you, how strong is that? At this point, I just want to bail, just because he did so much damage to me, and I'm a little bit more in their territory more than I am myself in my own. Playing a little bit more defensively now, so I ended up coming up here just so that I can take some minis using the bounce pad to help me out. He ends up trying to ramping up, at which point I just take some shots. Unfortunately, he backs up too far, ends up falling, or not sure exactly what happens, but there that guy ends up overcompensating. Maybe he didn't understand where he was at. Thanks. His spatial relationship was just poor in that situation, and because he had low health, ended up taking just enough fall damage to take him down, so I was able to wipe out both. Got a little bit lucky there, actually. It was definitely due to their negligence that they ended up losing that, less than my outskilling them. It was definitely due more to their negligence, and that happens. Sometimes the name of the game is just to wait till they make a mistake, or you do what you're trying to do correctly, and once they make their mistake, you know, you have the upper edge. So I'm in the storm. I have a lot of ammo. I'm sitting pretty. I have 6 middies, 1 wipe. And typically what I try to do is I try to keep at least 2 weapons, ideally the tac and a rifle. If I have the charge, then I'll try to get a spray. So it'll be 3 weapons. But if I have the tac, it doesn't require needing a spray weapon, which allows me to have another heal. In this case, it was the med kit. So I see him in the distance, 600 bullets at this point. Honestly, I just take as many shots as I can, because you have no idea what people's health are at. You have no idea what situation. You have no idea what a shot or 2 could do when it comes to interrupting their train of thought.
Sniper.
So they're going at it at each other, just trying to take some shots just to cause a little bit of chaos. That's what I like to call it at. And at this point, I'm not even worried about so much as tapping if I don't have to. If they're out in the open, just kind of rely on the bloom. Again, I have the ammunition at this point. You might as well use it. Looks like they're going into a fight, and sometimes they'll be focused on their wall in front of them. And at that case, they're not focused on the wall at the side, and me being the third party, that's where my advantage is, taking down that wall and just spraying, hoping that the bloom gods bless me, get some damage, and just really make it difficult for them to rotate is really what you're trying to do. You're trying to make it super difficult for them to compose themselves and get themselves into a comfortable situation where they can reorganize. Getting a lot of hits here, ended up killing a down player, I believe, or maybe I got the kill. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember. But one person did end up dying, leaving me with 3. 1 up top, 2 at the bottom there. Duo trying to compose themselves. They're trying to build up. I have a good amount of mats, but again, good amount of bullets. Just trying to make them waste their mats, because by the time they come up over here, it's going to take a lot of mats for them to get over here. It's going to take a lot of resources, and also for them to defend themselves. And now they're on the side of the hill. It's even easier to cause some chaos. So one person ended up getting down. Bloom gods had blessed me with the scar. That person ended up dying, and this guy is way at the bottom. I have super high ground. There's another person down there who ended up sliding down, maybe to get away from the chaos, but luckily the circle played it in my favor. This isn't always going to be the case, obviously. Like I said, this is a thing that it's in my favor. Yeah, I got lucky. They're trying to move in, which is just going to make it super easy for me to shoot them, because they're building up. And as they're building up, you know, the walls or floors or pyramids, whatever it is that they build, is going to end up being weak, because they just place it, keep spraying. Maybe they're not paying
Woo,
attention
boy.
to it. So there it is.
Here we
Smash the
go.
like button. Subscribe if you find it helpful. If you have any questions, please ask. If you want to send me
Jeez.
something or whatever it might be. See you guys next time.
You said this whole game is a YouTube video. You're not wrong, bro. Let me take this down.